Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Let's see if I remember how to even do this thing. Right, so yeah, where have you been? So apologies. I know I've really yeah, where to start? So basically, this video is about what happened for the last sort of 2.5 months, and I'm really sorry. But a lot of people have reached out and sort of said, where have you gone and all that thing. So if you're one of those people that's reached out and said and asked how things are and checked up on me, basically, I'm super appreciative. It's really nice of you. But yeah, basically I decided to quit YouTube about 3 months ago, and I just wasn't doing it right. I just couldn't justify YouTube. I just found it too much of a challenge. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to quit YouTube. It's one of the best things I've ever done. I've made some amazing friends and had some amazing opportunities, and YouTube is just incredible. I love it. I'm so proud of the channel. I'm proud of every one of you guys that watch the channel. So I could cry. I could. But I did decide to quit and invest more time in actually being the other side of the camera, because photography is my job. I'm a professional photographer and videographer and designer, and because of the way the world's gone mental for the last 2 years, I thought I need to concentrate on actually. And basically what happened, my biggest excuse I've got is it's about that big and it cries a lot. And yeah, we had Evan. He was born 4 weeks ago. So yeah, welcome to the world, Evan. And I'd like to have him here with me today, but they've buggered off for the day, so he's not here. But yeah, Dude 2 arrived with us 4 weeks ago at the time of filming this. So yeah, we've got 2 little ones now, 2 little boys. Ellis is super excited, and he's doing all right. He's not so bad about sharing his mum's attention and whatnot. So he's good. 2 mummy's boys. So in this video, I thought I'd talk to you about where I've been, what I've been doing, although that kind of answers most of that, I guess. And then also going forward, what's going to happen with the channel. Now, I'm a bit frustrated. I've got this little piece of paper. Look at this. I've drawn a plan because I don't plan at all. I'm just dreadful at it. And I know a lot of people who are really good and successful at anything. Fail to plan to fail kind of thing. And I'll plan for my customers, but I don't plan for me. And I've decided to do a plan for YouTube going forward. So I've got this little, I don't know if it's going to work, but I've got this little form I'm going to fill in for all my videos and see if that makes a difference, and obviously work. I'm going to ask you now what you want to see, what you don't like about the channel, how I can improve. What don't I do that everybody else does that I can make the channel better and actually keep going and justify it and make it bigger and better and all that sort of thing. And don't say take better pictures and be better looking. That's just mean. But going forward, what am I going to do? So basically what I did when I quit, the worst of it was, it's not just me, there's a few of my YouTube friends who felt the same way. The longer break you have, the more difficult it is to go back into YouTube. So obviously I had family time, we had the break, we went to Bluestone with Evan, we had the family time. Fantastic. Excuse me. I've got a bit of a breathing problem. It's got worse the last 2 years with stress and everything. I suffer with anxiety anyway. The whole thing going. That's the other thing that stopped me doing YouTube is the anxiety with all the sort of political stuff that's going on now, to put it politely. And it's really wrecks me, and it's not my confidence and stuff. So that's part of the reason why it gets in the way. But the breathing thing is part of my anxiety problems. It gets worse. It's certainly got worse in the last couple of years. So what I've decided to do is to redesign my business. So I'm trying to do more work in London and around them sort of areas. It's a different kind of clientele, and I get more opportunities and bigger and better opportunities. So I'd like to do more work in London. So I've rebuilt my website. It's supposed to have gone live on the 24th of December. It hasn't at the time of filming this, which is about 28th, 29th. But we're going live soon. So as soon as it's live, I'll put a link in the description. So do check that out if you want to have a look. The idea is to do more workshops, to sell prints, because I don't sell many prints, probably 10 a year sort of thing. People just email me via Instagram or whatever and ask me if they can have a coffee, that sort of thing. So copy, not coffee. Well, they can have a coffee. Free coffee with the print. And I want to push my commercial work through my website. I want to push my landscape and street photography in the magazine and weddings and all that stuff. I need to take my website more seriously. So the business model has changed because I do a lot more video for clients, a lot more interviews and that sort of thing. I do less concerts for obvious reasons. So yeah, everything's changed. And I never really, in the last 10 years, never really needed to advertise. So this is all weird. So yeah, I'm going to start pushing my business now in London. I bought this. This is a backup. Well, basically, I've got these things. These are massive storage, Western Digital, whatever you call them. I've got 15 of them, and they're all about 10 or 12 terabyte. They're absolutely massive. Now, what that poses a problem for my Lightroom catalogue, because I can't. If you said to me, Gareth, where's that photograph from Scotland 2 years ago? It'd be like, it's in one of them. I ain't got a clue which one. There's literally loads of them. It's going to take me 2 days to go through them and look for them. So yeah, I've put all my raws, just raws, no video, on this little 4 terabyte pocketable thing. So obviously I've got the backups there, and the Lightroom catalogue is going to work through this. So this is one of the best things I've ever done. I wish it was an SSD, but they don't do a 4 terabyte, do they? I don't know. Either way, if they did, I couldn't afford it anyway. So this thing was about 80 quid. So absolutely brilliant, and hopefully reliable. And I can just basically I've got my head around the Lightroom catalogue. I wasn't very good with that, and I've got a few friends. So if you're watching this and you've helped me out with my Lightroom catalogue, massive thank you. Really, really appreciate it. This is now the way I can actually find any picture that I've taken in the last 5 years in pretty much seconds. So yeah, it's massively changing my Lightroom. Do enjoy using that. It's really, really cool. So but ultimately lost confidence. As I said, I've struggled with all the politics that's going on in the world. Now, please don't fill the comments with opinions on what's going on in the world. It's not about that. It's just, and I'm sure it's affected you as well, but mentally I've just had a bit of a few breakdowns over what's going on in the world, and I'm just struggling with it. So I don't want to talk about it really any more than that, but I've just really, and I know a lot of my friends feel the same. It's not just me. I just don't understand it. So I'm just really having a struggle. It's not my confidence, nothing to do with getting out and about. I'm no issue, as you will know, from being out and about. Nothing to do with that at all. It's just everything constantly be rammed down my throat all the time. I can't stand it. So anyway, ignoring that, going forward, what have I done? And what I've learned during my couple of months off? Well, Lightroom organisation, as I said, I can now find. You know when people do a video on like the best photographs I've ever taken with whatever lens, and they just managed to go onto Lightroom and find that lens, find all the photographs they've ever taken with the 50mm whatever. Talking of lenses, I bought this 33mm 1.4 for the Fuji. Let me know if you want me to do a video on it. The new Nifty 50, basically 1.4. Let me know if you want a video on that. But yeah, so like in a year's time, if I wanted to do a video on that lens, I could then go into this and I could filter via all the lenses, all the photographs I've taken with that lens. Amazing. So I'm going to get one of these for my wedding photography as well. So I'll have all my weddings on there like that, as opposed to having to rummage through all that. Because these are chronologically, these big things here. It's like 15 years worth of stuff. So yeah, my Lightroom organisation has changed massively, and I'm kind of getting my head around the whole, because Lightroom is really clever, but at the same time it's intrusive. It kind of bosses you around a little bit. So yeah, I've organised some hard drives and stuff like that. I went through 1 million of my old images, and some of my early videos, which when I put them out, I was like, oh, I love these photographs, they're amazing, let's put that in a video, let's let the world see these photographs. And then I'm going through my Lightroom catalogue, and I'm like, really? You put this in a video? You were actually proud of these photographs. But that's good, because it means that you showed development, and it means that now a photograph that I would think back then was amazing sort of thing. So yeah, it shows progression, and it shows that also I can see crap. A lot of people can't see crap. You know, it's a massive ability. If you can take a photograph and look at it and go, no, I see what I've tried there, but it didn't work, it's rubbish. You know, that's a massive ability. Don't be afraid to rip your images to shit and just say it's crap. About 20,000, just over 20,000 photographs, I think it was in total, images I went through, and luckily I'm a fast editor, but I went through 17,000 street photographs and 4,000 landscape images. I'm going to blame the silent shutter on the street photographs, on the Fuji for that, taking 20 frames a second sometimes. But yeah, weeks, mainly for the new website. But if you have never done that, then do it, because the progression you'll see chronologically going through your photographs. I just went through one folder with all my raws in. Doesn't matter where the photographs were taken, and then I sorted them out afterwards. And it was incredible, the development and how cringing my photographs. If you've watched my videos and you think, oh, Gareth does nothing but take amazing photographs, that is not the case at all. I took so many crap photographs. I've seen a massive development in my landscape photography, but then I've seen so many pointless street photographs. That knocked my confidence hugely, and that was one of the other reasons why I haven't really been out much, because I just didn't know where my street photography was going. I've just felt like a lot of my photographs were repetitive, and I just like, yeah, once you've taken a reflection, do you need any more? How many reflection photographs do you need? And what's the point of them? And stop blaming gear, stop buying new this, and just, yeah, I just, a bit of a meltdown as far as my street photography goes. And Instagram and all these social media and all these YouTubers and all these people that go out and just do average photography kind of is to blame, because, you know, I want a better standard, basically. My landscape photography and my street photography in 20 years' time, I want to be proud of a gallery that I have with my kids there and saying, look, Dad didn't waste his time. Look at what I've achieved. And I just got to a point where I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I've hit a wall here and I'm not getting any further. But anyway, this is another video there. We'll talk about that another time. I don't make this video short. So I went to the Isle of Skye. No. If you've never been to the Isle of Skye, I'd never been. So I was like agony to live with for the month before. That was a month before Evan was born. So I went to Isle of Skye a month before we had Evan, which was good timing, don't you think? That was my 40th birthday present to me. That was incredible. I absolutely loved it. And there's about 15,000 vlogs from that if I ever get around to even looking at that footage. But I don't know. We will try and make them into more clickbaity kind of content as opposed to just a vlog, because there's no point spending hours doing them otherwise. So yeah, I lost confidence in both my landscape photography and my street photography because I just didn't feel enough of a development. But then the Isle of Skye kind of made it worse because I was there, even in crap weather. The place was incredible. And then when I came back to South Wales, I literally didn't feel inspired with my landscape photography at all. I was like, what now? And South Wales is beautiful. And I'm sure if I just went to Pembrokeshire or went to Brecon Beacons or went to Gower or something like that, I would have these amazing opportunities. But I don't know why. I don't know. No excuses. I just feel like I've kind of taken a step back from photography for a few months, and I'm sure I've never done it before in my life because I'm a professional. I can't really take a step back from photography. So, busman's holiday, isn't it? So what else did I do? I studied other street photographers. Now, if you've never done this in your street photography, mad like I am, do study other photographers' work. And I don't mean Instagram or YouTube, because they just kind of carry on with fashions and stuff and trends, and it's all about shooting wide angle and blur in the background as much as possible. But if you look at I'm not you're going to disagree with me on this one. I'm not a fan of Henri Cartier-Bresson, and I've never been like that sure about why people go nuts about his work. I don't get it. I've watched so many videos and I just don't get it. I'm much more of a fan ho, Soul Lighter. There's flipping loads. I can't even think. Gary Winogrand I like. There's loads. Elliot Irwin. And I've been watching so many interviews just to see what's going on. Not just Henri Cartier-Bresson, but lots of other street photographers, just to see. But what I've learned isn't actually about their photography as much. It was more the mindset that they were going through at the time of taking the photographs, or their approach to street photography, what was interesting, because that I learned more from. I didn't learn anything from about how they took a photograph, what aperture they took the photograph, what shutter speed they were using, what lens they were using. I can do that just by looking at the photograph. I don't need to be told that. So I didn't learn anything there, but I learned something about their mindset and what, I don't know, I suppose politics were on at the time, or what physical fashions were on at the time, and how they were influenced and stuff. And that really was educational. And Henri Cartier-Bresson as a person, I was incredible bloke. I'd love to have met him. Absolutely incredible bloke. I think he's amazing. But it was just such an interesting and important thing to do 3 years into my street photography journey, to start studying. And I've watched like 6 or 7 documentaries, hour-long documentaries. So I've watched a lot and read a lot as well. So yeah, it's been really, really eye-opening. So I've not wasted my couple of months off in that respect. But ultimately, I've realised that my YouTube channel is wrong. I've been doing it wrong, and I need your help, because I'm not going to continue to do. I'm not going to grow the channel, and I can't justify. I'm not going to be able to go like camping and do street photography. I've got 2 kids, and I need to. Some YouTubers seem to make freaking fortune doing this thing, and I just don't understand what I've got so wrong. And I know I don't do like clickbait videos on 10 tips on why you should take your lens cap off and all that malarkey. I don't do it. Why I charge my batteries, why I use a memory card. You're using your tripod wrong. How to guarantee sharp images. I don't do these things because I ain't going to watch them, because I already know how to use my camera. So I can't do a video telling you how to suck eggs. So it's not just photography. I mean, there's so many YouTubers making mega amounts of money. With the title, and then when you click on it, it's like so elementary, you're like, flipping heck, I can't even cook, and I know this, and yet the views are there. So the algorithms, same as Instagram, the algorithms are stupid. So I don't blame people for doing these tips and lens reviews and all that, because they're the ones that get the views. But largely, and not just again photography, most of them don't know what they're doing. So it's like asking a person when you go to buy a car, excuse me, mate, to the salesman, what's the better car to drive, that one or that one? And him giving you all these specs and all these opinions, and turning out he doesn't even know how to drive a car himself. He hasn't even got a license. So a lot of these videos are just, when you go researching these photographers to see how good their work is, they literally can't take a photograph, yet they're giving all this advice. And I'm thinking, right, I can't do that because my credibility is worth more to me. But also, I want you guys to enjoy my flipping channel. I don't want you to think, oh, Gareth, I'm not watching you do a video on, why you should use a 2-second timer. I don't know. I don't know, maybe I've got to find. Let me know in the comments if you've got any suggestions, because it's catch-22, because I need the channel to grow, and not because of I want the numbers. I want 50,000, 60,000 subscribers. Not because of the, what's the word? The nonsense behind the views, but I need to be able to sell my magazine and stuff, and I need to be able to sell workshops and prints and stuff to justify this. Now I've got 2 kids and whatnot, and I don't want to be selfish, and also the pride side of it, because I feel like there's so many people that are doing things who are nowhere near as sort of credible as me. I don't mean to sound arrogant, but literally they've got 200,000 subscribers and they can't take a photograph. It drives me nuts. There's so many people that are like that. So I know this basically. Yeah, I've got to change the YouTube way I approach my YouTube. So basically, I think I'll probably do one of 3. So one of the 3 videos I'll do will be either gear related or a tip video or something. But it's going to crucify me. So bear that in mind when you're watching it. It's going to crucify me. But the other thing, I don't know if you noticed, it's probably a clickbait video for you. In Lightroom, did you know you can rearrange the toolbar on the right hand side, so you can actually get rid of the things that you don't want? So I got rid of things like curves and a few other things, calibration really, which turns out I needed to bring back. But you can actually move and reorder that, so that because I love the transform option in Lightroom. A lot of people don't use it, but it's absolutely superb. And depending on what lens you've got, especially, and for getting things vertical. So I move that to the top underneath the basic editing thing. So things like that, I'll perhaps there's a video in there, isn't there? Going forward, right, okay, keeping it short. Google My Maps. Have you ever heard of it? No? I'll be honest now. Let me know in the comments if you use it and you've got any tips. Let people know in the comments, because it's fantastic. Julian Baird, a mate of mine, done a really, really good video on Google My Maps. Check it out. I think it's better on desktop than it is mobile. I don't know if Shannon, I think it was, from my landscape photography group. Check out my landscape photography group if you're not a member. It's really, really handy for sort of sharing tips and whatnot. It's not a big group, but it's really, really good for networking and whatnot. Mentioned that you can do it on the phone as well, so you can find a location, add it to your My Maps via phone, which I didn't know you could do. So you can plan for sunset locations. You can have a list of sunset locations, street photography locations, landscape locations, astro locations was what I was going to say. And then, yeah, it's really, really handy. It's Google My Maps. I wish there was an app version, but I don't think there is. So don't hate the player, hate the game is basically what this all comes down to, isn't it? I can't, there's good friends of mine that are doing really well for these old clickbait malarkeys, and they ain't doing them as well. Right. But what do you want to see? Let me know in the comments. What do you want to see? Don't say another presenter with blonde hair, blue eyes, and don't say anything like that. Don't say better photography, because I'm doing my best, all right? But let me know if you want to see a video on the 33mm 1.4, which I was tempted to do. I know my mate Roman's already done one, but let me know if you want to see my version of that lens. I mean, like Viltrox sent me this, right? This is the 35mm 1.8. For Nikon. Right, Viltrox sent me this. So this is a result of being on YouTube. You get sent stuff like this. Now, this is amazing. Massively privileged. Now, obviously, they will have seen my 85mm 1.8 video, which I did a few months back, and they really, really liked it. So they've sent me this one saying, can I please do a street photography video using this lens? And that puts the shits up me a little bit, because it means I'll be doing street photography with my Nikon, which, if you know me, I always use my Fuji X100 or XT something for street photography. So now I'm going to be using, at least having a go with the 35mm 1.8 for the Nikon full frame Viltrox. So yeah, excited about that. Thank you, Viltrox, for sending me that. Also, case. are chasing me actually, because they sent me, they see my video on, and I'd mentioned this to them before, in fairness. I did a video a while back on the iPhone 13 for landscape photography and whether or not you could use it not professional, but for serious landscape photography. And they seen that video and said, can I do because I mentioned that the filter system I used in that video was crap for the phone, the little Amazon clip-on thing. So I said, look, can you come up with something? Can you design something? And coincidentally, they said that they've got this in the pipelines. So when it came out, they sent me some of these case mobile phone filters, which are huge and clip all over your 3 lenses, so you don't get any like vignetting and stuff. So they're chasing me for these. So apologies, Case, for not having time to obviously they know why I've been busy, but I will get around to doing that. So yeah, YouTube's been amazing, just getting things like that. And to meet so many of you guys as well, it's just been incredible. So I don't want to quit my YouTube channel. I'm super, super proud of it and all of the opportunities that it's presented. So yeah, hopefully 2022 is going to be our year, and we're going to go into the new year absolutely flying, and all the mistakes that, like not having a list and having a plan, is all going to be ironed out. But thank you again so much for your support. It really does mean the world to me. I'm super, super proud of every single one of you that watch my channel, and hopefully 2022 will be amazing, and I'll look back in a year's time and go, what an idiot, what was I thinking? Anyway, have a lovely Christmas, or I hope you had a lovely Christmas. Have a fantastic new year, and I'll see you in 2022.
Hello!
Hello!
Thank you, Watson. Bye! Happy New Year! Bye-bye, Camilla.